Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the channel. Joe Rocks. Hope everybody's doing well. I am back with my most recent haul video. Vinyl CDs, of course, and some brand new releases and some stuff I'm just filling in the gaps in my collection, or that I've been meaning to fill the gaps in my collection. I'm gonna start with the vinyl because I have more vinyl than I do CDs. So let's get started. This was just reissued last week. Yeah, about a week ago. It was a week ago. And this is from Nuclear Blast. So, Testament, Souls of Black is their fourth studio album. I do have the New Order, and I do have Practice What You Preach. The Nuclear Blast reissues of those. I do have the Legacy on vinyl also, but it's from one that came out in 2021, I believe, and the vinyl variant was silver. Silver. So I did not get the Legacy one that was reissued by Nuclear Blast. And actually, that and the New Order came out around the same time, like 2 years ago. So, but yeah, Souls of Black. I am a fan of this album. I'm probably a bigger fan of Practice What You Preach. That's just me. But I do enjoy this album quite a bit. So, and the Legacy has always been my favorite Testament album. My number one. So, but yeah, Souls of Black. And they just announced, I think it was on Friday, this past Friday, that they're doing the remastered Practice What You Preach on vinyl. I was hoping they'd do a CD. Maybe in the future they will. So I really would like to get the CD on that, because I don't intend to buy the remaster. I've got the reissue, which sounds amazing, so I'm good with that. But I would like to get the CD, so hopefully soon they will reissue a CD on that. But, all right, anyway. All right, next up is a band from the U.S. This is a band called Hoaxed. Death Knocks is the name of their second studio album. They are a female trio. I have heard their debut album, which I think came out in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is a band that's like kind of heavy rock and like borderline metal. The first album probably leans more rock, but this one leans a little more metal, but with some goth element to it. And because this album is darker than the first one, at least that's the impression I get from listening to it. So, Hoaxed, Death Knocks. This was put out by Relapse Records, so I'm really enjoying this. This came out in February, so I didn't get it right away, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So let's see. Oh, I think there's the lyrics and the band and credits. So I haven't listened to the debut in a while, so I'm gonna revisit it, but I thought this album sounded a little darker, the new one. So, Hoaxed, Death Knocks. Alright, next, this is an album that came out last year, and I do have the CD, and I'm pretty sure I showed it in one of my haul videos last year, and it was one of my favorite thrash albums. I'm sure it was on my favorite thrash albums of 2025, but it was finally released this year on vinyl. So, it's Electrocutioner, Harbinger, their second studio album. U.S. thrash band. This album was so good last year. So this was put out by CDN Records, Canadian record company. So, and they only had black vinyl. They didn't have any other variant. So when I saw that this was coming out, I jumped on it right away. So. Hype sticker. Electrocutioner, Harbinger. Very cool. I'm hoping these guys will come to my area so I can see them live. So, because this album was really good. So, very good thrash album. Okay, next up, a new album from Temple of Void, The Crawl. This is their 5th studio album. Death Doom band. The only album from them I have not heard is their debut, and that's Of Terror and The Supernatural, but I am familiar with the rest of their other albums, Lords of Death, The World That Was, Summoning the Slayer. So, and I have listened to this. I'm really, really enjoying it. It does have like a goth vibe to it, or atmospheric maybe, but there was a little bit of that on Summoning the Slayer also, but this album still crushes. So that's what I want from them. Still crush, but it's really good. Temple of Void. I'm enjoying this one a lot. The Crawl. All right. This is also a new release. This is the 2nd studio album from this German death thrash band, Masticator, Total Mastery. Their debut, which I don't remember it being released on any physical media, but it was released digitally. Forthcoming Revelation from about 4 years ago. I really, really enjoyed that one, so I was looking forward to this too. There's a band there. Let's look at the vinyl. Orange, black splatter. Very cool. Very nice. Like I said, I did enjoy their debut, and I haven't listened to this one yet, but I will be very soon. So, Masticator, Total Mastery. Their new album. Alright, this is also a new release. And so, what do you get when you put together the ex-bass player from Dark Funeral, ex-drummer from Pentagram, the current guitarist of Fu Manchu, and ex-vocalist of Pantera, Terry Glaze? You get an album from Axe Dragger, self-titled debut from Axe Dragger. This is heavy metal. Little bit of stoner vibe to a few songs on here, but just pretty much a straight heavy metal. Self-titled album. I have listened to this a few times, and I'm really, really liking it a lot. So, looks like a pile of skulls on there. Very cool. So yeah, I haven't really listened to this. If you liking it a lot, if you haven't checked these guys out, heard anything about them, check out the song "Death Is Calling My Name" and the title song "Axe Dragger." Really, really cool. So, but everything on here was good. I really liked. So, lyrics, and there's the band there. And some looks like thank yous on the bottom there. So very cool. Axe Dragger, their debut. Alright, next, I have not opened this. This is probably one of the more recent ones I got in the mail. This band is one of the early death thrash bands of like late 80s, early 90s. They are from the US. This is their 2nd studio album. Originally it was released by Metal Blade, and so this is reissued from Wax Assault Records. This is Epidemic. Decameron. This is their second studio album. Like I said, Death Thrash. One of the early, like, kind of Death Thrash bands. This came out in 92. I have not opened this yet. I had a friend that went to visit family in the Bay Area, because that's where they're from, is San Francisco. And when he came back, he had a CD with him from this band, Epidemic, and it was this album, Decameron. And I remember hearing it and really, really liking it. So now they had another album come out in 1994. I don't remember the name, but then after that they broke up. So I never really looked into them after that, and to hearing any of their other two albums. But I happened to see that this was getting reissued, and yeah, I jumped on it right away. So the band there. There's lyrics. Oh, cool. It's like a brownish gold, I guess. So very nice. Yeah, Wax Assault Records is who reissued this. So, and it was originally put out in Metal Blade. But yeah, I can't wait to listen to this, because I remember hearing this and really, really loving it. Alright, next up, this is a new release. I don't know much about this band, because I had not heard their previous albums. This is their third studio album, I believe. But I saw they got some really good reviews, and Lindsay on Heavy Metal Journal, I believe, reviewed this also. It came out at the end of January, so I just kind of sat on it, but I finally got it. And that's Urn, Setting Fire to the Sky. This is their third studio album, and they're like kind of metalcore, a mix of sludge metal. But I did stream a song, and I liked it a lot, so I had to get the vinyl. Lyrics. Let me go shot of the band. Urn, Setting Fire to the Sky. I've seen a few people, this metal vinyl group that I'm in on Facebook, post this album too, and they said they really loved it. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to check out the rest. So. Alrighty. Alright, next. Oops. I'll put it on the side. Okay. Alright, next. About 6 years ago, I came across this band on Spotify, and they have 4 studio albums, and I picked up their debut, which I think came out in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And I just never really checked out anything after that, but I did pick up the debut. This is a band called Hemotoxin, and they're like progressive death thrash. So I finally went on Bandcamp and looked for them, and I finally picked up the rest of their discography. So the only thing I saw available on vinyl was their last one, When Time Becomes Lost, which this came out 2 years ago, 2024. And then I got I do have the CD, the debut of the CD, which I got 6 years ago. And I picked up the other 2 CDs of the other 2 albums also. So really cool, progressive death thrash. This one was put out by Pulverized Records. I'm not sure if the other ones were put out by the same label, but and I got this from the band's Bandcamp. So all right, lyrics. Here's the band and some credits. So very cool. I cannot wait to check out the rest of their discography. So. Alright, that was the last vinyl, and that will lead into the CDs. So here's the other two Hemotoxin CDs I got. Restructure the Molded Mind. I think this band has gone through a couple, one or two lineup changes. So, and then Biological Enslavement was the other one. Alright, very cool. So, can't wait to check out the rest of their stuff. Alright, the next two, these are from a band that I am not familiar with their first two albums, but I finally did get on CD. I have the rest of their stuff on CD, and I do have one of their vinyls, their last album that came out last year, and that's Revocation. Existence is Futile, and the debut Empire of the Obscene. So these are the only two of their albums that I'm not familiar with. So I finally picked them up. And these are their first two albums. Yes, first two albums. So I really did love their album last year, New Gods, New Masters. Nice, very cool picture at the end there. So. All right, I do have the Temple of Void CD too, the Crawl, the new one, but I didn't bring it to show it, but I do have the CD because they have vinyl Temple of Void, and this one that I just showed is the only vinyl I have from them, but I have the other two on CD. So, all right, and the last thing is I still may pick up the vinyl on this though. I'm not sure, but it's the reissue of Sodom's Get What You Deserve. This is a 3-disc set. That is the original cover. It's the band. So, like I said, I still make it. I'm not going to get the box set, but I still may get the vinyl. So, Get What You Deserve. This is the remaster, the 2026 remaster. And then the other two are the remix, the Blitzkrieg mix, and then disc 3 is the is actually the EP. Aberbeat. You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm sure I'm gonna butcher it, so I'll put the title on the screen. But there's an EP that came out right before this album, Get What You Deserve. So I'll show you the booklet. It's got lots of pictures. I believe, yeah, it's got some backstory, of course. I do have the Tapping the Vein one too, but I also did get the vinyl on that one, so I still may get the vinyl on this. We'll see. Backstory, the band, lyrics. So yeah, very cool, very nice. I remember this album. It's one that I haven't listened to in quite a while. This is kind of a more return to their thrashier sound, you know, kind of their punkier sound, whereas like Tapping the Vein was a move towards death metal. And then after that, they went back to more punk, kind of punk thrash, although not necessarily punk, but just punk element or vibe, so, to their sound. But yeah, I have listened to the remix of this, and it does sound really good. I haven't listened to the remaster yet, the original mix yet, but I plan to. So, but remaster sounded really good, or the remix sounded really good. It is a little, of course, more crisp and more like clarity to it. But you know, I personally think that remixes are fun to listen to. I've said that before, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it takes the place of, you know, the original mix or anything like that. So, but yeah, I thought it was a fun listen. So, Sodom, get what you deserve. This is a 3-disc reissue. So, very cool. All right, that is the last thing I got. New Lamb of God I have on the way. That's on the way. Couple weeks, new Immolations coming out, and I know there was something else. Black Label Society. I love Black Label Society. Their new one's coming out also. And so those are a couple that I'm looking forward to as well. But all right, that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.